Alright, so this is Eric Peterson. You're watching Army of One TV. Metal. Horns up. Hey, what's up? This is Eric Peterson from Testament and the band Dragonlord. What's up? So, Dominion, the process of this started back in 2012. I had a deal with Spinefarm, Universal Records. Everything was all good. We were ready to go. My drummer at the time, John Allen, kind of disappeared a little bit. And actually disappeared for a while. So by the time I got a hold of him and found out what was going on with him personally, Testament was now ready to work on Dark Roots of Earth, and then followed by a tour, which threw everything kind of off a little bit. The good thing that came out of that, and also just in consideration of everything that was thrown at me that was a problem, whether from 13 to 14 to 15 to 16 to 17, there was always something that was given back to me that was like really cool for Dragonlord. Alex Bent came into the picture, young drummer at the time, 20 years old. Jammed with him in 13. I think we recorded late 13. And just the level of the drums just went up considerably. I mean, blast beats, groove, all the above, and that was a pleasure, working with him. And also for Alex, I think now he's in Trivium, which worked out really well for him. And also, I think he also was in Battlecross for a little bit. But yeah, just his style of playing. I believe when in his youth he was in his dad's band playing church music and soul music and whatnot. So from that experience and then getting into thrash music and death metal and whatnot, getting him at that time was perfect. I mean, he was just, I think even now when he hears what he did with Trivium and then to Dragonlord, he's just even kind of like, whoa. Like, I did that? That's crazy. So that's pretty cool as far as the drums go. Also, in between that time, I wasn't really ready vocally for a couple of songs, which pushed the record back a little bit further, which was a problem, but which brought in Leah. Leah is a Celtic singer-artist from Vancouver. She ended up coming in and redoing all of the choirs and all the female vocals on the record. And also, Love of the Damned is a song on the record that's kind of, I don't want to pinpoint it as a ballad, but it's got that kind of more slower, mellow, kind of like Beyond the Realms of Death by Judas Priest, that kind of vibe where it's, it's not a ballad, but it's a slower song. She kind of helped me out with the lyrics, and she's the character at the end explaining why she's going to stay with the devil in hell. It's kind of like Dante's Inferno, where Beatrice goes to hell and gets away, but this time she doesn't get away, she falls in love with the devil. That's what this song's about. So yeah, there's a lot of things that, like I said, there was all these holdbacks, but something always good came out of it. Well, 4 years goes by really quick in the 2000s. I don't know if you've noticed. Maybe the universe is spinning out of control. But the time that I spent on doing the Dragonlord record was very limited. I didn't have like a lot of time. 4 years is a lot of time, but I'm in Testament and we tour a lot. We've been touring, doing a lot of tours, and and then having Dragonlord, which is more it's not punk rock. I don't just go in and just do my thing. There's a lot of nook and crannies involved in the music. And then also just finding the right lyrics. There's a couple of songs that weren't written lyrically, and I didn't want to push it. I had some ideas, and I laid them down, and everybody's like, yeah, that's cool. But to me, I just was like, it doesn't represent the song. I mean, especially like the song The Discord of Melkor, which is like an 8-minute song. I ended up turning it into the whole ideology of Tolkien's The First Age of Lord of the Rings, which is kind of like his version of the Genesis of the Bible. But anyway, so as the story goes, they go down there, they create life, and Melkor is kind of like Lucifer, I guess, in his story. So I put a lot of thought into it, and I did a lot of research on the website and read the book, of course. So I just kind of came up with my whole version of how that went down. And it really fit well with that song, because in the middle of that song there's an orchestra piece that's just all strings and French horns and just no drums and guitars. It's just very orchestrated, and that's kind of like the creation of what was being held in the void before life was created. So that's very deep and stuff, but it's pretty cool to see the artwork too. The whole album has got a lot of graphic illustration for each song, to where you can like zone in. Like, one thing is cool is that we're putting this out on LP, so the artwork, you can actually look at it, and it's not like some little piece of small CD version, whatever. I know LPs are pretty big amongst metal fans. It seems like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, that's that song, at least. So obviously Testament's my priority. Dragonlord is more of my side fantasy, my other novel that I'm working on. I would really like to see, especially after hearing this record now that it's done, I'd like to do some Dragonlord shows for sure. We'll see what the year has. I mean, the record comes out September 21st, and Testament actually has some downtime from September to February, I think. So I might be able to have some time slipped in to do some shows. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, on this record, I actually did all the bass work on it, and my influences were, I've been playing bass for a long time. I'm more of like a closet bass player. But on this record, my influences were definitely like stuff that Geezer or Steve Harris would do, just licks, thinking of what they do. And I even set the guitars up for that, to where the guitars weren't so busy at some points where the bass could actually take over and do stuff, even though there's flutes and violas and trumpets and strings and dragon wings and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy the way it all came out, though. Well, right now on the Slayer tour, we're limited on obviously on what we can sell, but on the one-off shows, I have a new comic book out, which is based around Dragonlord, but the character is called the Burner, and those will be for sale at the show. So for Dragonlord right now, it's just a bunch of internet stuff, videos, lyrical videos, and the record is coming out September 21st. I probably will be doing a party somewhere, maybe a couple of them throughout the world. Maybe somewhere like in Russia or Poland, maybe the UK, New York, maybe somewhere in South America. So that's something that we're planning on right now, just to do some kind of listening party thing. That'd be kind of cool. Hang out with some fans, let them hear it, hang out with me and whatnot. But as far as playing, that's still up in the air, but that's something that I would definitely like to do. So you can check out any information from me on enterthedragonlord.com. Also, I have an Instagram, which is Eric Peterson Official, and you can check out any information, especially Instagram. I'm more involved with that day to day, so if you want to send me a message or whatnot, there you go.